Tino on the narrow path, and I am about to do something new for all of you that are coming in here. Give me a second, and I'll tell you what it is. Hello, everyone on Facebook. This is new. This is a new one for me. This is the first time I'm doing this. Yay! I'm making Facebook Live at the same time as I'm doing YouTube. So I welcome you here to all my friends and family and people who may be interested. I'm going to start from the beginning a little bit so that the people on Facebook that will be new to me will kind of have an orientation of who I am. So this is called On the Narrow Path. It's a vlog post that I'm doing here. Hi Jennifer, she is a regular on my YouTube channel. So we have a YouTube channel that I'm doing live now. It's at Tim and Katrina McHyde. You can look us up if you want to find live videos, YouTube videos. This is actually number 97. So I have 97 of these and some other ones, actually, a few more from when Zachary was in the hospital. We have a special needs son who was in the hospital a couple of years ago, and he was in ICU for a whole month with pneumonia. And that's what started this whole program, is he was very sick and everybody was worried and wanted to see what was going on. So I went ahead and started giving updates so that it was easier to keep up with everyone, because we had such an outpouring of people that were thinking of us and wanting to know what's going on, that it was more simple to just go ahead and give updates in this way. So that's how we did it. Hi Marina, good to see you. So this is my broadcast. This is what I do to help people out and help myself out, give you what's going on in my life and how it applies to living a good life, a better life. I call it On the Narrow Path. This is going to be an update for all those that catch us. Our son Zachary, 25, who is special needs, he has autism and seizure disorder. He has been having seizures lately, and we are working on getting some extra testing done for him. We're going to start setting that up with doctors, so that's starting to come online. He's taking a little time right now because he's having seizures. So that makes it more difficult. I am home. Yesterday I had a surgery. I'm going to be talking about that surgery a little bit. But I'm doing okay, as you can tell. I am alive and kicking. Took more than that to take me out. And I went ahead and labeled this one Big Little Giants, Viruses, Surgery, and Dance. So the reason I did is because right now everybody has some big little giants they're dealing with in one way or another. So we're going to talk about that and how to look at it and maybe deal with it maybe in an elegant manner. Maybe be different than others in how we can see these things and be a place of peace in the middle of a fearful world that's happening with us right now around the world. So I have been, Tim has been working on the book. We've gotten more and more working on the book. You know my husband, Tim McHyde, and hi Felicia, good to see you. I'm doing two things at once, and we're going to see how this works. This is the first time that I've done Facebook and YouTube at the same time live, so we'll see how it works and how everybody likes it. We'll just see. We're playing around, seeing what's possible. With that, he's been very busy. I have not done a vlog post in a couple months, as many of you know, and I have been working more on the dance floor. I am a ballroom dance instructor in training, as many of you already know, and I'm having a great time. I'm having a blast. But we've also had some extra workshops and some extra things happening, some school balls that we do year-round, helping with high school balls. So it's been keeping me busy, and I've been working with people one-on-one and doing different things. Hi, Tino. Nice to see you from the Netherlands. Thanks for coming. Yeah, so we have a bunch of stuff to talk about. What I really wanted to encourage you, because my husband is working on a free newsletter right now that he hopes to get out tonight. It's called it's going to be you can pick it up. It's a free newsletter that we have. You can sign up for the free newsletters at escapeallthesethings.com. You're welcome to go there. There's plenty of free articles there, all kinds of things that you can work with, and as well if you'd like to support us. And we thank all of our supporters because they help us to make things free for some of our stuff for free for people, and we enjoy doing that. I'm trying to set up here and see if I can look at the Facebook comments at the same time. So bear with me as I try to figure things out, because I'm using things in a different way than I normally do tonight, just to put this together. Okay. I need the speakers to go out here. My computer is not helping me. All right, we're going to have some trouble here, as I can see, but hey, it always happens. Give me a second. We're going to turn this off. There. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to see your comments on YouTube tonight. I'll have to figure that out. I can't get my my computer to. It's been having some difficulty working with me here. It's rebelling against all authority. It happens. All right, so let's get back to what we're doing. We can work with. I'll try to read the updates quickly on YouTube as you say things, but I love having you guys here that are here. So thank you for coming. So the things that have been keeping me busy, of course, we've had some sicknesses that we've gone through. Tim's been ill in some ways, so we've been working with illness in the house. Caleb, our son, who is 21, he lives about a half hour away from here. He has been transitioning to different jobs, and now he is partly working for actually the dance teaching studio that I work with, as well as some other jobs. He's doing well for all those that keep up with us, and I get to see him regularly. It's really good to see him. He's doing well, and he's a fine young man. He's doing good. He actually got super sick himself a couple times, and I had to work with him on that and help him, and that was not an easy time for him. So that's what's kept me from being able to do some YouTube videos. Rafa, you're in my heart. I see your vlog, I see your posts on Facebook, and I just think of you and your daughter, and we just had a wonderful time together in California. It's good to see your message, and my heart is and love comes back to you and your daughter and your family. So my surgery went okay. I wanted to talk about how we have these big things that happen in our lives, giant things that happen. And many times those kind of things, when they ruffle our life and get us going, it makes it difficult for us to stay balanced and be able to stay with a positive attitude. Or maybe I'm making it up. Maybe everyone is really good at it. I don't know. So, I had an interesting interaction there while I was getting prepped, ready to be brought into the room for my surgery. The nurse asked me as she was strolling me down the corridor to the surgery room, said, "Are you nervous?" You know, like she was worried that I might be nervous, because of course she probably deals with a lot of people that are nervous with that. I went, "Nah, it's no problem." And many people, the first time that I had surgery, which was a year ago actually, the attending person that was attending as well, the nurse that was attending there, was really surprised that I was like this. When I go into a surgery or I go into an emergency situation, I'm usually like this. How do I do it? And people would like to know, and they would like to have my peace. Well, I've done a lot of work. I've almost lost my life plenty of times. I've almost lost Zachary's life. I've been through, living in a third world country. And Diane, who is watching now, knows what it's like to live in a third world country. You learn peace comes on the inside. And you have all kinds of experiences to practice. So that's what this life is about, practicing. And a year ago when I was coming in, the attending nurse was surprised that I was so happy as well. And he asked me how I was so happy. And I said, "You know what? I just know that it's all going to be okay. Whether I live or die, whatever happens, it's going to be okay." And I know that just because, this life is temporary. We came into this, and it's just temporary. So you make the best of it that you can, and you work on your fear issues towards pain, suffering, and death. And now we're living in a time, things are getting more interesting on the earth. I think this coronavirus that many of us are facing right now as being a real possibility, even it's going to touch all of us in one way or another, as 9/11 touched everyone in one way or another. It changed our world, and this sort of has changed our world and our mentality around the world. And that is another big little giant, right? It's a virus, a tiny little giant that is coming after us, and we don't have a way to stop it completely. Everyone's doing their best, but it's affecting us. If it's not affecting us directly, if we get it, any of us get it, it will affect us indirectly. We are already getting people sharing with us how they are losing jobs. Things are closing down, businesses are closing down, and this is going to be a very difficult time around the world for people financially, and the readjustments happening, as well as just the difference in cultures we're going to have to maybe prepare to be different with. Or saying, for instance, to do less kissing on each cheek in certain countries, and hugging, and give space. And that's very much part of many cultures. And we all need touch and love touch. And so this is going to be something that's going to be a little more difficult for everyone that wants to be concerned about this. And I have to say, I am not really bought into staying away from people. I'm okay with, hey, I see about 200 people or more every single week dancing. There's no way that I can avoid this. It's just not going to happen. Either I'm going to get it or I'm not going to get it. But there's no way I can stay away from it. So we'll see what happens. And many of you are in different service industries where it's kind of the same issue. So, you do the best you can, but it's just going to be kind of how it is. So we need to, we can go through this around the world. We can go through it different ways. We can individually choose to go through it elegantly, and to do it with a certain grace. Or we can go ahead and let fear rampage us. And the thing about fear is that it actually lowers your immune system. And so if you're going to go into the fear, that's funny, I'm wearing this shirt that says fearless. I just noticed that myself. Fearless soul. Very cute. Oh, I'm impressed. I didn't even do that on purpose. So fearless. The thing is that fear won't save you. Fear actually is your enemy right now. It will wear down your immune system, and it will also wear down your relationships. Fear is a normal thing. We all have it, including me. I have fear. Let's deal with it. How do we do it? Let's see how you can slow down, breathe, go into the fear. So the way to go into the fear, I am a believer. Some of you who are watching do not believe in the God of the Bible, and I respect that. And there's no problem with that, but that's what these posts are about. I do believe in God, and I believe that people that follow the Bible should be different and be able to handle things differently than the world, in a loving, wonderful place that gives us a good name and not a bad name. And so I do my best, and we're all practicing. We all make mistakes, and those that know me know that I am, I've got my own issues. I am a child growing and learning like everyone else. But I share what works for me, and we all are children, and we need to continue to try to grow up. And that means to really set ourselves to a standard to be able to do things different. And I know that when you're in pain, or when things are happening, many times we give ourselves a pass to not be our best part of our best selves, and say, well, anybody in my position being this sick or this whatever would not be happy, or would be mean, or whatever. And I'm asking us to not be like many people. I'm asking us to be different. you're going to go through what you're going to go through, and you cannot control it. And that is the biggest thing that is very difficult, is things that we cannot control. This life is uncontrollable, and you're going to go through it. You're going to suffer. You're going to have pain. It's what are you going to do with that suffering and pain? So what I'm hoping is that I can encourage you to recognize that these things that are difficult to go through, surgeries, viruses, children, I have a son with special needs, very difficult things going on, that you can take these things and decide to use it towards your good, towards the good of everyone else. It's all about choosing to allow these things to make you better instead of make you bitter. And you can choose that because you have free will. You have power to do it. And you may have not been using your free will in a way to choose that very well in your life overall. But it's like a muscle. It has to be exercised. So that brings me up to my, I've talked about viruses, I've talked about surgery, and now I'm going to talk about dancing. So I went 2 Sundays ago now. I was in a special class for Tango Argentino. And if anyone's ever tried to do Tango Argentino, it's really hard. It is. I love it. I'm telling you, my favorite dance. I do lots of different dances, but Tango Argentino, Argentino, if you speak Spanish, is probably my favorite because it is so hard. We had a special class. We had a woman come in, beautiful lady come in to town to teach styling, lady styling especially, but actually men's styling as well. And we had some men in the class. We had probably about 12 people in a small room with the instructor. And I had a control, what I would call a controlled anxiety attack, which it is very hard to put me into an anxiety attack anymore. I'm pretty solid. I've been tested pretty hard, but I was surprised. So I've done enough work to know to breathe and to realize what was going on, and be able to talk myself through it while it's happening and not run away. My first instinct, the reason I was having an anxiety attack was, okay, it felt like the small room felt like a small swimming pool where we had an instructor and all of us were learning how to swim for the first time. And we were too close to each other, and trying to go back and forth with these tango styles and moves on the floor felt like I was going to run into people and hurt them, or they were going to hurt me. And I have shorter legs, and I learned slower than everyone else. It was really terrifying, and it brought something up in me that I'm sure happened from childhood, some kind of traumas from childhood, that being in the same position of the fear of hurting other people or of getting hurt, that just kind of reared up and put itself in there. And I was laughing on the inside, and at the same time I was terrified as well, and going, this is very interesting. So the first thing to do when you get terrified, slow down inside and breathe. Just breathe and recognize and observe what's going on for yourself. And see why. Ask yourself, why am I having this response? What's going on for me? And so I'm able to do it now because I've done so much work. I'm able to do it in the situation I'm in. So the first thing was, do I need to get out of this classroom right now? Just pay 30 euros and just lose it anyway and not take this class and walk out right now. And I felt like I could do that. I'm okay enough. I can go into the terror and I can do this. I'm really safe. I'm not really in danger. And so I can choose to be here, not choose to believe that if I don't learn anything at all, it's okay if I spend 30 euros not learning one thing, but choosing to stay on the dance floor or in the proverbial swimming pool and just be there. And if I can accomplish being there the whole class and just participating the best that I can, I will have won. And that 30 euros would be the best 30 euros I ever spent for that day. Because you learn when you're in situations like that. When you're tested and when things are difficult is when you get the opportunity to grow. and to get stronger and to be able to get over those things that you fear. So I stayed in, and at one time I had a girlfriend. We were paired up, and I had a girlfriend who was that I told her, look, I need to work with you right now because I don't, if I don't, I don't know if I'll get anything out of this class. And she was really great, and she's a more professional tango dancer, and so she was able to help me, and that helped me feel a little more secure. But what really helped a lot, this is really sad, but what really helped a lot is the next lady, who is really, I love her so much. She's so great. And I know her even better than the other one. Um, uh, we were paired up again, and I was paired up with this other lady, and I saw the terror in her eyes, and I saw that she was just as terrified as I was. And I cracked up because we're both just dancing. It's just learning how to dance and learn how to do styling. It's like there is no pressure. It was amazing. And that calmed me down. Like, okay, yeah, so this isn't easy. This isn't not just easy for me. It's not easy for everyone. So it's gonna be okay. So you never know that just being genuine and being yourself, but still sticking there. She stayed there too, is not ministering to the people around you. So you can have fear, but in the fear, make choices. And the only way you can make choices that are healthy choices is to slow down on the inside. And if you need to give yourself some space, I actually tried to give myself some space by walking around to different areas of the dance floor and try to have a small spot to work by myself. And I couldn't find it. Like, I was walking around kind of in twirling patterns somewhere, trying to figure out where my corner could be. And it didn't exist. I went, okay, I guess it's just back in line again. But if you can give yourself space, then do it. But if not, just go slow and take the experience slow. And don't allow yourself to fully go into a panic attack, because once you lose the thing about a panic attack is, once you lose control, you're out of control completely. If you can learn to go ahead and breathe and slow down and talk yourself out of it, and look at somebody's eyes, or even ask for help, you have overcome the giants in front of you, just by allowing yourself to be calmed in the middle of it. So that's really important, to be able to do that. And we're going to go through a time where some of us are going to possibly be dealing with this coronavirus and be in very bad positions. We may be losing our jobs. There may be some very difficult things happening. And I'm asking if you can practice in a loving way, the best that you can, kindness to yourself and to others around you at the same time, because that is the true way. If you look at what God says in the Bible, He says to love Him with your whole heart, might, and soul. And the way that we do that, according to Christ, is to love our neighbor as ourself. That means we have three parts. Everybody's heard it on the narrow path a million times. Loving your neighbor. You cannot do it until you learn to love yourself respectfully as God loves you. It's all three, all the time. And in order for us to grow and mature, to be able to handle eternity, living for eternity, is to learn how to have love saturated in all those areas. So hard things and suffering give us the opportunity as children, because we're always children. I don't care if you're 3, I don't care if you're 93. You're a child growing and learning. Is for us to take what life gives us and to allow it to give us opportunity to learn and grow. And we can choose to learn and grow into bitterness, anger, frustration, hurting other people, and throwing a fit because we're not in control. Or we can do what's harder, but more rewarding, and in the end, more peaceful on the inside, and brings more joy even in the middle of suffering, and brings more meaning into life, your whole life lived, by going ahead and slowing down and choosing better things. So I wanted to share that after the class of dancing that I had the honor of bringing the dance instructor to the train station. I was going that way anyway, and she needed a ride. And so we got to talk in the car. I got to help her get a meal and then get to the train. And she asked me what I did. And of course, I told her that she already knows that I help at the dance school, but she wanted to know about family and the other things that I did. And I told her about these vlog posts that I did right here. And I told her that we're here helping a pastor out here in Germany, and I work with trauma people, help people work through trauma issues and life issues. That's kind of my work on my missions, and how Tim and my husband and I are writing a book together, and that my husband has already wrote a book, as many of you already know. Tim McKay. The book is called Know the Future, and so we help a lot of people online as well. We have a support group and people that we help regularly, and people that help us regularly. And she asked, because I said I was a missionary, she said, "What's a missionary?" Which is a great question. And I kind of told her, well, it's pretty much loving people, doing whatever needs to be done. That's the best way to describe it. You do what needs to be done for God, for the love of people, because there's all kinds of needs. So it always changes what we do. But she also asked about the book and what it was about, and I told her something important that I want to share here. This is, to me, very important. I said, well, our book is about helping people learn how to live for God, but in a different way than many books or even churches. As she says, I don't really know anything about God or church or anything. I said, well, the thing is that, church will tell you to love people, or they will tell you to do things right and what is right, but they won't necessarily tell you how to do it, and how to get yourself to a happy, peaceful place, and how to stay there, the tools to do it. So they'll say how to love, but they won't teach you how to dance the love. So I said to her, it's like dancing. You can watch a bunch of dancing videos or watch a bunch of dance instructors like yourself for years and years and years dance. And then somebody can come up to you and say, okay, you've watched enough videos and you've heard enough about instruction about dance. Now I want you to get up and do all the figures that you learned from all of these years of listening to dance instructors. And I want you to do a great job. Well, most people, almost all, but most people would get up and go, well, I know a lot about it, but I don't really know how to do it because I haven't done it. And so our book is more about helping people learn how to dance with God, how to dance in life, how to dance and how to make it work, how to make love work. What is love? How to get over those things that don't feel so loving. How to deal with unloving people. How to deal with yourself when you're being unloving. And how to be kind to yourself when you're practicing and falling down. Because if you're doing it right, if you are doing this walk right on the narrow path, if you're doing it right, you will fall down a trillion times and have to get back up again. It's about practicing and being a child and being willing to learn, being just willing to learn and be teachable. And so I hope what you can get from this is that we're about to enter some very difficult times on the planet. We are just about to enter them even more. And I think it's probably going to be this way for the rest of our lives. We're going to have just a different atmosphere and scenery from here on out. It started with 911 in a sense, and I think we're going to have some other things going on. So we get to choose how we go through things. We don't necessarily get to choose what we go through. So I hope that we all can choose some kinder ways. I know some of us won't and some of us will, but we can really be something different in the world. It says, that let your light shine among men so they may see your light and praise your Father in heaven. And I'm hoping that some of us will choose to strengthen ourselves and do the hard things now that it takes even the little things every day of how you treat yourself, how you treat the people in your household, how you treat the people in the street or in a coffee shop, the service people. All of those things are opportunities to grow and build, to be able to handle the more hard things when you feel sick and ill. And when you feel sick and ill, to do the same thing. And if you end up getting grouchy and you end up falling down in the midst of doing it, don't be hard on yourself. You're learning. Be as long as you're choosing to be willing to learn, you're going to be able to only get so far, and then your strength is going to give out. But you will have gained a little strength to try to have a little strength again, more strength. And it's like exercising or dancing. You get better and better at it as you practice. So be thoughtful to be willing to practice, and you'll be okay. So I am willing to do a prayer for all of you that wish to have a prayer and accept a prayer. If you have any prayer requests on Facebook or YouTube, bring them up now and I will add them into my prayers for you and for whatever situations you have. And feel free to leave comments and suggestions. I would love to have comments and suggestions, either here on Facebook first time or on YouTube. Feel free to subscribe to our channel here and we're at you can look up Tim McHyde or Tim and Katrina McHyde on YouTube and find us there, or On the Narrow Path. I have a ton of On the Narrow Path broadcasts, and you're welcome to subscribe to our channel. I let people know about 10 minutes before I get online that I'm about to go online. Give me feedback on if this Facebook thing is working too, because if it's working, I'll add that in and start doing that live as well. So, but on Twitter, if you want to follow our account to know when I'm going to be doing a post, there's Tim McHyde on our Twitter account. That's how we let people know when I'm going to be on. And I don't usually know when it's going to be, guys. I'm so sorry, but between dancing, special needs people, and my own health needs, sometimes I just know last minute when I'm doing it. Today's my rest day, so I get to do one. You're welcome to come to escapeallthesethings.com and sign up for our free newsletters and see our free articles. We do have other articles as well that are paid subscription ones, but they're few compared to the hundreds that are free. And you're welcome to support us so that we can have free content. The book that we are writing is going to be free, and it's free because of our supporters. So I thank you for all of our supporters, and we appreciate you. I do not see any requests for prayer that I can see. Okay. So I'm going to make a general prayer for all those that want to be prayed for. I praise you, Father. I praise you for this time together. I praise you for the opportunity to share with my fellow humans around the world, my fellow brothers and sisters. Father, we're going through a lot down here, and I know that you don't take everything away from us because we learn through suffering, just as the Messiah learned through suffering. We learn as well. But you got the, oh boy, yeah. We just come to you and know that you have a perfect plan, that you created us, you sustain us, and even know things are not, because we're using our free will in a way that's not working well, it's okay. I know that it's okay because you're going to make everything okay in the end. I know this is not the end. Help us, Father, to, in the times that we are scared, to be able to slow down, accept that we're scared, and know that you are everywhere. I have a good friend that always says, there is not a spot where God is not. I love that. Dennis, you're just awesome. If you see this, you're the awesomest. He's the one that said it, and I give him authorship of it. It means that love is everywhere because God is love. Everywhere you see love, God is. And so he is everywhere. You can see him everywhere. I want to let you know we're okay. I'm recovering okay from my surgery. For those that would be concerned, I'm okay. Father, please bless all those and help all those others who have special physical needs. Father, that you would comfort them, help them to recover. You say that your children will recover from their sick bed. And so I ask for their healing, their quick healing. And I praise you for your goodness. And I just ask a blessing upon all that watch this, that they would be able to remember that you are good and that they matter to you and that they matter. Every single person matters, Father, to you. And actually, every single person matters to one another, Father. I know that because you created each of us uniquely with gifts, and you created each of us as a gift to one another. So help us to be that gift, activate those gifts, and help us to use it towards constructive ways instead of destructive ways. And I bless all of my friends and ask for them to have a special blessing for supporting me and all of our supporters. And I praise you and bless you in Yeshua's name, Jesus' name. Amen. I love you all. Mwah! I love you all. Come back. I'd love to see you again. Let me know how the Facebook is working. And let me know if there are any questions or ideas that you have for me to do for vlog posts. I will put them on my list of things to do. I do have a list, and I do read the comments. I do read them, and I try to respond back to them as soon as I can. And I appreciate all of you. Blessings to all. I'll let you all have a good day, good night, or good morning. Take care.